Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on demand care for common ailments such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org. From Boundary to Bear Lake, Fremont to Payette, Oahe to Oneida, there are interesting people, places, and histories in all of Idaho's counties. And Idaho Matters wants to share it with you with stories from all 44 counties that make up the Gem State. Email your ideas to idahomatters@boisestate.edu or use the Talk to Us feature in our app, available on Apple and Android, and tune in each weekday at noon for Idaho Matters. More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Gaudette. If you're local to Boise, you may have noticed that in recent months, the city has gotten a bit more colorful. That's thanks to a new mural created by the Sierra Club's Climate Justice League. Just a few weeks ago, the youth-led group unveiled the project along Park Center Boulevard, advocating for a clean energy future with a message that's now hard to miss. And that's a call for community solar for all. So joining us now to talk more about this mission and the mural are Lisa Young, the director of the Idaho Chapter Sierra Club, and Harmony Trude, a youth leader of the Climate Justice League. I want to welcome both of you to the program.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Harmony, before we get too far into our conversation, can you explain what this mural looks like for those who haven't seen it yet?
For those who haven't seen it, the mural uses a lot of pastel colors, more bright things, obviously adding a splash compared to the white background. We include community sites such as the Rocky Mountains, buildings like schools and libraries where community solar can be used, as well as multiple representations of people who actually live in our community, like those who use the green belt, people who do farming, etc. And our biggest focal point in our mural is the message solar power for all. We have that on the top, as well as using solar panels and focusing on the sun.
And Harmony, this is a pretty large mural. How long did it take to plan and put together?
I guess overall it was about 10, maybe 11 months. We started planning in August, getting the actual designing and working with an amazing artist, Lawson Schultz, to establish the logistics of the design. And then in the later months, spring, May, we got our final touches, securing funds, and actually painting the mural.
And Harmony, can you tell us a little bit more about the league and what you do in your position?
CJL overall is about youth activists and climate groups. Our main goals include youth organizing, grassroots engagement, and leadership development. Our focus is holding legislators accountable and challenging narratives that have been against community and democracy work, as well as educating others and proposing solutions for local energy. I specifically, as a youth leader, help with planning and in general working with my other group members to establish what our next steps are as of right now.
And Harmony, why was this message so important? Why did you want to focus on this particular message?
This particular message was something that we wanted to work on because in 2021, the city of Boise set a goal around community solar as part of its climate action roadmap. City officials said they would install a 500 kilowatt community solar array by 2026, and that's next year. Yet the city still has no concrete plans to actually build a community solar project. We want to create this mural to help raise public awareness and public support as well to urge the city to move forward with a community solar project.
So, Lisa, let me bring you into the conversation. Can you tell us a little bit more about what community solar is?
Yeah, absolutely. Community solar really serves as an alternative to rooftop solar and, also an extent to solar farms as well. I mean, not everyone can afford to buy solar panels. Not everyone owns a home to put solar on. And community solar is a way to open the door for renters, low-income folks, and so many others to lower their power bills with a shared community solar project in their neighborhood.
And Lisa, tell us exactly where this mural is, because I have a feeling people have seen it, but they may not know that they've seen it.
Sure. Yeah, you really can't miss it. Like when you're heading on Park Boulevard right into downtown. So you're coming from Southeast Boise, heading into downtown, coming off the Park Center Bridge, heading towards,
Hmm.
the Whole Foods. That's where you'll see it right on your right side. You really can't miss it. There's a big, long white wall there that's often covered in graffiti and, trying to paint that over all the time. And now there's this beautiful, colorful mural that says Community Solar for All.
And I have to say, I went by it many times when you were painting it, and wondering what it was. So I'm curious about how this practice of community solar would work. Let's say in a city like Boise.
Sure. Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. So an array of solar panels would be installed on a local community building, let's say a library, a church, a school, a local store, wherever. And local residents could then subscribe to a portion of that project, just like they
Hmm.
subscribe to Netflix or Pandora. Then they would receive credits on their power bills for all the energy that those solar panels produce. So it's kind of similar to like a community garden, but instead of co-owning and harvesting vegetables, you're co-owning and harvesting solar power.
And so the benefit would be too, maybe, is like if you don't necessarily want to put solar panels on your house, or maybe you can't afford to do something like that, this could be another option, Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I like Harmony, I feel like can explain, some other benefits exactly along those lines. Yeah.
So, Harmony, tell us about some of the other benefits of community solar.
Well, there's so many. They're really awesome. A lot of the big thing that we've been emphasizing, especially like Lisa and I and my group in general, is the equitable access to clean energy, specifically solar energy. As I've talked about, well, more specifically, Lisa talked about earlier, many people who rent or maybe are just like low income can't afford solar power. So by having community solar initiatives, we can actually give that clean, equitable access to energy to those people and lower their power bills as well. And then, secondly, community solar actually helps local residents reclaim their power, quite literally, from the monopoly utility that we're all forced to buy our power from. Right now, the corporate utility directs where our energy comes from, how it's made, and what the rates are. And a lot of that power is currently polluting fossil fuel plants, coal, and gas, even though the summer heat, I know we've all felt it, is shining so bright right now and is free. But
So,
with
Lisa,
community solar,
oh, sorry,
sorry.
Harmony. It's okay. I just wanted to jump in real quick because Lisa, I'm curious about what you would say to people who might be discouraged right now, frankly, by national and state level attitudes towards clean energy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first, I would say to those people, I feel you. It really is frustrating. Those recent policy changes at the federal level, pushback at the state level, definitely frustrating for sure. But, the clean energy revolution is already here. And even those policy changes, frankly, really can't stop the explosive demand and build out of renewable energy that we're already seeing across the country and the world. Like renewable energy, like solar and wind are just, as a fact, the cheapest, fastest way to create energy right now. So that's what companies are going to pursue. It would be nice to have our government's support for that, but the lack of that policy support won't completely stop the moving train. And I would just say, like, for folks to remember that the broader public really absolutely does support climate solutions and clean energy. There's numerous polls in Idaho and across the nation that really shows that. There's a vocal minority, I'd say, who oppose, clean energy and climate solutions. And there's some powerful special interest industries behind that as well. But I would say don't let that fool you into thinking that most of the public is opposed.
Harmony, what is the next step in your mission to try and bring community solar here to Idaho?
Our next step is to really push the city of Boise to actually implement that goal of the 500 kilowatt community solar array by 2026. We've talked with Mayor McLean, City Council, and city staff who set that goal, and now we're expecting them to follow through. This can be an example for cities all across Idaho, and we've been meeting with the city of Boise for about over a year now, and talking with Idaho Power as well. With enough community support, we know we can get this past the finish line and help so many deserving people in Boise lower their power bills with clean energy.
And before I let you go, Lisa, I understand you have an event coming up soon. So can you tell us the details about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are actually having a public webinar next week on Thursday, August 14th, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Zoom, which will provide an easy to understand 101 on community solar and how people can get more involved in our campaign. So folks can learn more and sign up at our website, sierraclub.org/Idaho. I'm also going to give a quick shout out and plug for a National Day of Action for solar and clean energy, which is taking place on Sunday, September 21st, which is being called Sun Day, 2 words. So folks will probably start hearing about that. There's going to be a buzz around that over the next month. And we're planning and supporting fun solar themed community events in Boise and in most major cities across Idaho. And there's a cool website, sunday.earth, that people can go to. And I want to let Harmony give a quick plug for Climate Justice League events too.
Super quick. For any teenagers in the Treasure Valley, you can join our league, which we do activism with other passionate young people. We meet every Monday night, 6:30 to 7:30, and we have lots of back to school events coming up in August, which we can give more information through our Instagram at Idaho Climate Justice League.
All right. Well, I want to thank both of you so much for coming in today. We've been talking with Lisa Young, the director of the Idaho Chapter Sierra Club, and Harmony Trude, a youth leader of the Climate Justice League. You've been listening to Idaho Matters from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Gemma Gaudet.